Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today I'm going to talk about the mental trauma of COVID and the 6 steps you can take to protect yourself. I was reading an article in the Washington Post, and it said, according to a Kaiser Family Foundation poll, nearly half of Americans report coronavirus crisis is harming their mental health. A federal emergency hotline for people in emotional distress registered a more than 1,000% increase in April compared to the same time last year. And last month, roughly 20,000 people texted that hotline run by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. That's pretty powerful. A lot of people are struggling, right? It's terrifying to realize that a pandemic such as the coronavirus is spreading around the world and we have no control over it. I think that's what scares most of us about anything is not having control, right? But the different stages of a pandemic can provide panic and anxiety. And it's already been going on for 6 months, and no one knows just how widespread or deadly that coronavirus is going to end up being. Hi, Kreema. Good to see you. Good morning. So, feelings of fear, anxiety, sadness, and uncertainty are normal emotions during a difficult situation such as this, right? But everybody in the whole world is currently experiencing those kinds of emotions. But being proactive about your mental health can help you to keep your mind and your body healthy. So let's take a look at some of the ways that you can protect yourself. One of the first ways that the first steps you can take is to recognize the things you can control, right? That includes things such as self-care, finding ways to manage stress, or even seeking professional help if that's what you need, right? So let's look at some of those. So self-care, if there was ever a time when you should really take care of yourself, now's the time, right? Now, make it about you. Make it about self-care. Take care of yourself. Eating a healthy diet, getting enough sleep, and engaging in some form of exercise are always good steps to helping you stay physically and psychologically healthy, especially during stressful times, right? Good self-care also keeps your immune system healthy, which means eating well, sleeping well, and managing your stress. Hi, Marcia. Good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So, peace of mind. Practice recommendations from the Centers for Disease Control or the World Health Organization or other experts to curtail the transmission of COVID, such as wearing a mask when you go out or keeping at least 6-foot distance from other people and washing your hands regularly. If you live in an area where the COVID infection rates are really high, try to stay home as much as possible. And when you do go out, be sure to practice those safety methods, because there's always steps you can take to decrease your risk, and keep in mind that when you're taking those steps, when you're actually taking them, like, washing your hands or wearing a mask or keeping your social distance, these things help remind you too to focus on the things you can control, because you can decide if you're going to put a mask on, right? And so knowing that you're doing everything possible to keep yourself and your family safe, that gives you a lot of peace of mind. That's a big part of peace of mind, is you're taking those steps and you're in control of those things, at least the things that you can control, right? So develop an action plan. Be aware that increased depression and anxiety is probably going to occur at some point, right? It's perfectly normal. For many of us, our whole lives have been upheaved, right? None of us know what to expect next. So go ahead and plan for it. When you start to feel overwhelmed or frustrated or anxious, talk to someone, write about it. Just get it out. Don't let it fester inside of you. But be prepared and make a plan. So decide now, when you're having a funk or when you're struggling or you're anxious, who are you going to talk to? Or maybe keep a notebook handy where you can just write down your thoughts or journal, right? Another important issue that's important to know is that children often adopt the coping strategies that they see in their parents. So parents who are showing anxiety and stress during this pandemic might end up projecting that anxiety right down to their loved ones and to their family. So keep that in mind too. Also, read news from trustworthy sources and limit your social media consumption. Oh my gosh, you guys, Facebook has so much crap on it right now. So much. I can't even, it's like one extreme to the other, right? So avoid media outlets that provoke stress or focus on issues that can't be controlled, right? Instead, turn to the sources that give reliable information. So one of those reputable sources is the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC. They provide helpful tips to keep you and your family safe during these unprecedented times. Watching media stories like on the news or on Facebook that talk about how fast the COVID is spreading or the death toll, those kinds of things will increase your stress and anxiety. So limit your social media or limit your media, your news consumption to a certain time frame or a certain number of stories because you want to be informed, but you shouldn't allow yourself to be bombarded with anxiety producing news all day, right? You don't want that coming at you all day long. So just limit it, whether maybe it's just a couple hours in the evening or in the afternoon or whatever. If you're going to watch the news, watch something happy and upbeat after so you don't go to bed with that on your mind, right? I mean, the most important actions are to keep you and your loved ones properly informed, calm, and as healthy as possible. That's what your goal is right now, right? So, if your mental health is struggling and you're being affected by the stress and anxiety of COVID, you might need to seek the help of a mental health professional. And, a licensed mental health professional can help you manage the stress while helping you to make the best decisions for you and your family. And the good news is that thousands of therapists are now using remote methods such as video or teleconferencing, so you can talk to someone right from home, right on your phone, actually. And so high anxiety and stress can cause some people to adopt unproven or unsafe prevention methods, and some of those methods can be harmful to yourself or others. Marcia says, so true, and that's why I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook or watching, I assume you're saying watching, the news. Yeah, I totally, I get it, because Facebook especially, oh my gosh, there's so much crazy stuff there, right? But sometimes you have to be careful because you don't want to hurt yourself. We tend to do things that are not good for us when we're under stress. And I know this better than most, you guys. I'm typically a stress eater. I admit it. Guilty, right? I tend to eat when I'm in high periods of stress, but that's absolutely not helpful right now. That's not going to help me get through this virus in the best way possible. And I decided a couple of months ago that I was going to take charge and I wasn't going to allow myself to gain any more weight during this time. Everybody's laughing and joking about the COVID-15 or whatever, they're gaining weight because they're home all day. And I've decided that that's not going to be what I'm doing. So I'm focusing on self-care, and it's really helping me. Hi, Anitra. Good morning. So it's important to take, make sure that any actions that you take are really beneficial for you. So remember one thing, humans are strong. We are. We're strong. We'll get through this. We had this horrible pandemic in 1918, and we got through that too. Right? And look at us now, 100 years later, we're still going strong. So it's not forever. And most important, do not project what has not yet happened. That's so important, you guys. Stay in the now. Where we get in trouble is the what ifs. What if? And it doesn't even matter, not even about COVID, it's about everything. If we're in business, well, what if they say no? If we're trying something new, what if this happens? That's where we get ourselves in trouble. Right? And if you're healthy and safe, don't worry about what might happen. Stay in the moment and enjoy the present right here, right now. So, hey, now I'd love to hear from you. What kinds of healthy things are you doing to help yourself get through this pandemic? What kinds of things help you when you're starting to get worried or stressed out about it? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. Thank you, everyone, for being live with me. I have Karima, I have Marcia, and Anitra. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being here. And anyone who might be live who just hasn't commented, and anyone who's watching the replay, I appreciate you. So go out there and have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.